Hello, friends. Friday, the 17th of November, 2023. I titled this video Swatted 60 times in person, 60 phone calls for for a total of 120 total swatting. Luckily, the 120 calls were to make sure everything was okay. About my swatting visit yesterday, the two deputies that came out in an unmarked truck. One of them is a new investigator, and this morning, a deputy told me that he's gonna be taking over the investigation on my case. We'll see about that. I've sent my sheriffs at least 25 to 30 emails. Most of them took me maybe a half hour to an hour to put together. 2 or 3, maybe 2 hours because of screenshots and paragraphs of explaining. I really don't believe my sheriff gives a shit. I just don't know. I don't know enough about how law enforcement works. They get these crank phone calls from a variety of sources, and some of them are even computer, such as, "Hello, I'm a disabled person, and I'm using a text-to-voice computer." And apparently, by law, they have to take every crank phone call seriously. Like, even if you say, "Hello, I'm Dr. Seuss, and my assistant Daffy Duck is sitting next to me." They just have to take it all serious. Then the sheriff was like, "Well, I gotta get going, Wayne. Deputy Geronimo needs me right now. However, I might come out later just to check on you." Like, why? You don't need to check on me. I'm fine. Maybe it's benevolent. It probably is. I don't get stressed. I've got maybe it's well, it's anxiety over I see police shooting unarmed people. Now, a lot of people kind of deserved it because they were maybe yelling at the police, acting sketchy. There's only one situation where they woke up a black guy in the middle of the night to serve a warrant. He was sleeping on his couch, and they busted the door open. He reached for his gun, and I don't really think they say police. I don't know. He was dead. It just creates I just got a lot of anxiety over it. When I feel like I tried to do the right thing. I feel like it's also election interference. Um, because they're unwilling to communicate with me about the status of what's going on. And maybe springtime, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not even investigating it anymore. We just give it all to the FBI." So, okay, enough of that. Let's talk about global news. Off the top of my head, what global news is going on? Well, Elon Musk is losing a few advertisers, IBM, Apple, and Disney. Now, I would be really careful, man. All three of those people mentioned, and their stock could to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. If Elon wanted to, he could sink any company he wanted. There's absolutely good tweets about a company, and there's bad tweets about a company. And the bad tweets, Elon could change the algorithm to promote the bad tweets about the companies who are giving him shit. And he most likely could tank their stock just through promoting what people are already saying. Elon could even turn off advertising and not accept 1 penny in ads and pay for Twitter through stock short through manipulating public opinion. So he could say, "Oh, I'm going to sell this company short by promoting a negative opinion, therefore their stock will drop and he could profit." Like literally he could fund a whole year's worth of Twitter. Like the Twitter bills, maybe employees and bandwidth per year are you'd have to look at the old Twitter numbers of expenses minus 80% of the staff. So it might just be 100 million a year. I don't know. You don't need so much staff if you're not selling ads. I mean, because some of the staff are salespeople. You just need database guys and programmers to babysit the machine. I watched a video about Israel and gas pipelines. Oh, their shenanigans with Palestine might be over natural gas, and America or Great Britain might have blown up the Nord Stream natural gas pipeline, and it could be as simple as the West just wants to sell fossil fuels to Europe, and Israel might be on the same path by sabotaging their neighbor's ability to deliver natural gas. They might be just looking to sell natural gas to Europe. It was something about the Silk Road. They're trying to build a new Silk Road where Iran has the ability to sell natural gas to Europe, and Israel might want to be preventing that. Don't really know. I shaved today, first time in about a month, I think. All right. The good news, no terrorist attacks in San Francisco or any place. I'm happy about that. Really, the founder of OpenAI has been fired, and it's most likely over his sister's allegations that he raped her when she was like younger, maybe 8 years old, and he was 12 or something. I don't know. And I'm having a huge fly problem right now. It's like gotten worse, and I don't know why. I also haven't cleaned my studio. Like there could be a dead mouse in here and I don't know it. There's no smell, but maybe there's enough smell for the flies. Yeah. Ooh, venture. Yet another former Silicon Valley darling is convicted of investor fraud. Who is Maria Murati, OpenAI's new interim CEO? Who knows what Game Planner does, but Airbnb just bought the company. Well, that's interesting. Man, these flies. I just don't get it. Oh, I know what's going on. I just ate 4 sausages. So the smell of sausages is in the room, including me. I'm just a big sausage. WorldCoin tokens value drops nearly 10% after Sam Altman. I didn't even know a WorldCoin token existed. Maybe that was going to be the World Economic Forum currency. TechCrunch is promoting Blue Sky, the Twitter competitor. Well, Blue Sky should do this. They should go public in the stock market right now. I'm sure they got investors that can make that happen. And then it would be a publicly traded Twitter-like service, and Wall Street would get behind it because they're all making money on it. Nobody's making money on Twitter, and they kind of have this attitude, I don't want to be beholden to Elon Musk. Game planner. That's very interesting that Airbnb bought. I think they have this wearable device. All right, now we're off to RT News. Iconic Israeli general explains importance of close ties with Israel. Oh, U.S. Congress to make all January 6 videos public. Israeli parliament says burn Gaza now. These people are barbaric. We should never give Israel another penny forever. They're nothing more than a murderous dictator state. They have no interest in international laws at all. Oh, it's a billboard that says fentanyl is the number one cause of death for Americans 18 to 45. Well, fucking stop doing illegal drugs, people. It's that simple. I think they're just planning to kill people. Or it's a plan. It's manufactured to get rid of the poor class of society who are doing drugs. Fentanyl around the homeless people. Amazon warns employees must follow return to office mandate to get promotion. New York bakery vandalized with spray paint graffiti. All right, now we're going to politically incorrect. This might be a short broadcast tonight. There's just really not much news except for flies in my studio here. Interesting. Have you ever had a dream with a black person in it? I might not have. That's funny. There's a new book that claims Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. Well, I think we've been saying that for years. It's pretty obvious. Signs of multicellular life found on Venus. That's interesting. The chief of Mossad wants to get, there's 2.5 million Palestinians, and he's saying, or Gazians, that 10 countries should take 25,000 each and disperse them over a bunch of countries. That's a good idea. Israel's not going to change. You can't make a donkey a racehorse. So the international courts are not on the favor. They're not interested in anything to do with fairness or the law. Israel they call it like the Khazarian mafia. They're never going to follow the law. You can't reason with them. They're on a self-destructive path, and we have to let Israel destroy itself. That's the only way that this ends, is through Israel's personal self-destruction. Apparently, there's a lot of HIV ads being shown on social media, implying a lot of people have AIDS. I wish they had some kind of like fast way to test for AIDS, like if you're dating somebody. Yeah, just not seeing much information here. Unbelievable. This might be my shortest broadcast ever. 13 minutes. Hey, Richard Stone. Everyone's got AIDS, 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 AIDS. You remember that? That's from Team America. It was a Broadway production, kind of like wow. It was a copy of there's some like New York City street gang Broadway production where two street gangs are dancing and fighting all the time. It was popular for years. Gross puppets. Oh, I was reading about that Operation Chaos today. I don't think there's any legitimacy to it. It doesn't make sense it does make sense to false flag America to drag us into a war against Israel's enemies. Iran is actually being pretty reasonable. Their Ayatollah, whatever he's called, said, we're not going to help Hamas. And I think he knows that Hamas is an Israeli proxy army. What's going on over in California, Wayne? Did you hear about the FCC? No. FCC in California? Let me see what the news is. I'm looking it up. News. I don't see any news about the FCC at all. Complete and total control of whatever that means. Oh, I think I do. I think Biden, it might have been with social media. Yeah, I kind of barely know what you're talking about. I haven't dug into that story. People were kind of implying it could be the end of freedom of speech online. I think what it means is the end of being an anonymous person online. I'm not sure. I don't believe in internet anonymity. I think every person should be identified because it promotes bad behavior. Yeah, let me see what's going on at Twitter. Maybe there's some news there. No, it just feels like a slow news day. That's also a little concerning. Um, Anytime there isn't big news, it makes me feel like the people who are planning something are having a meeting. It's the calm before the storm. Yeah. Wish I had some beers. Oh, well. I might not go to town till next month. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes going to town is dependent on something juicy from Craigslist, something valuable. Uh, and it's so fun to go on the free section of Craigslist and it's, oh no. Like the time I saw the pinball machine, I'm like, I'll absolutely spend $40 in fuel to go get a pinball machine. And I'm looking for a weight set and a weight bench. Uh-huh. A free jet ski or a free Sea-Doo. Uh-huh. Maybe any kind of old vintage stereo stuff. A lot of those big, heavy 70s stereo amplifiers are worth good money. I had a dual transformer Harman Kardon from 1977, and I think used they're selling for 800 bucks. Um, there's some JBL speakers that they look like just 1970s trash, $3,000. Free jet skis are the worst to fix and salt damage. They're hard to paddle. The jet skis around here probably wouldn't have salt damage because most of them are going to the Colorado River or lakes. I don't think people in most of Southern California people don't. They go to lakes or the river. Like Lake Mead is by Las Vegas. Going in the ocean is a little too dangerous. Sharks, cold ass water. Like literally the Pacific Ocean in the summer, 55 degrees. A lake, 80. There's a nice lake called Lake Powell. Oh, it's beautiful. Lake Powell is really a dream. Beautiful landscapes. Very often a thunderstorm in the afternoon in the distance. New England has warm water. In the ocean, you mean? In the Atlantic? Yeah, where else would the water be, I guess? Hmm. Well, a free jet ski. Yeah, a free jet ski. If it's running, it's worth money. I saw some with. I saw one, two. I saw two free jet skis and a trailer with title. Get it out of my house. They're like, just take it. Like this is how wealthy people are out here. I'm tired of staring at it. I'm not going to use it. I'm too busy to be selling it. Just come get it for free. I don't know the story. Maybe the husband died because nobody can fix it. I can fix it. It's just a two-stroke motor. And if I can't fix it, it's parts. I can part it out. I'm an eternal optimist, Richard. How's your transmission doing that you rebuilt? Mm. Because nobody can fix it. You're hilarious, man. Right on. That's been working for like 6 months. That's gotta be satisfying. I drive it towing every day, a trailer. Nice. Hey, I wanna tell you something. You weren't here for this conversation. Um, oh, that's nice. That means it's got a good cooler on it. So, because we talked about the solar panels and you sent me that book and bought me the inverter, um, I had an idea for a trailer of solar panels behind an electric vehicle to charge it, specifically a Tesla. So I figured a trailer holding 6 panels at 550 watts, it's like 3,500 watts. And how much range does it give? Huge. I take a 300-mile Tesla, which would take 5 hours to drive, and in the sunlight of 5 hours, it would charge an additional 180 miles. So I would go from a 300-mile range to a 480-mile range. Then, if you were to drive those additional 3 hours on that additional charge, it would give you an additional 37 miles per hour. So now we're at like 101, something like that. 100, no, yeah, 100 and 112 additional miles. Like, so it's a huge range extender, all for the cost of towing a trailer full of panels. I just thought you might like that idea. Well, if only there was photovoltaic paint. Exactly. Well, those little panels, um, you could just epoxy them to the car everywhere. It would be ugly as all get out, but and then wire them all up. That would be a pretty fun experiment. I just think putting some on the hood of the car, the roof of the car, and the trunk of the car. Yeah, very ugly. I don't care what cars look like. I mean, the whole "that's a beautiful car" thing, I just don't like it anymore. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. To me, cars are a feeling. It's the that acceleration is fun, and then it's just transportation. Yeah. The trailer idea is pretty good, but there's a little mouse back here. What you doing? He's just a little guy. His body's like about that big. Well, friends, I think this we're gonna call it an evening. There's just not much going on. Try not to let the news drive you too crazy. It's driving me crazy. Pat Paulson, thanks for coming here tonight. Richard Stone, thanks for being here. It was just you two friends. That's a poltergeist. Oh no, it's a little mouse. He's chewing on something back here. Yeah, he must be hungry. Well, have a wonderful Friday night, and I'll see